Hey everybody, and welcome to Web3 Wednesday. I'm Shelly Palmer, and I am so happy to be here. I am in Connecticut. And last week when we did this, well, the results were somewhat suboptimal. We got completely messed up. Thank you, Charter Spectrum. Bandwidth problems, ping time problems, freezing problems. So today, I am really hoping that everything is good. I'm hoping that audio is good. I'm hoping that video is good. Please tell me where you are. Yes, Frank Quinn, that was in fact Meow Mix. As a lot of you know, I was in the jingle business for many years. And yeah, the jingle thing was like my thing. If you are here, please tell me that you're here. Chat is where it's at. We're on YouTube Live. So right in YouTube Live, you can just, chat, tell me who you are, tell me where you are, tell each other what you do, because the conversation that you all have together is as interesting, I think, as the stuff that I'm talking about. So please welcome Frank Quinn and welcome everybody who's here today. I'm so happy that we are here, and I'm so happy that we've got good video and we've got good audio. That was a big concern last week, and in fact, we had to cancel the whole shebang. Couple interesting things. First of all, if you want to know what's going on in the normal course of my business day, you can please go to discord.gg/Shelly Palmer. That's our Discord server. It's pretty robust and pretty active, but not as active as I'd like it to be. But we get some great people talking about great stuff. So if you want to continue the conversation on any of the topics we cover today, the place to do it is discord.gg/Shelly Palmer. And if you're already a Discord person, we'll of course be on Discord. So there's that. And of course, not for nothing, today there will be a POAP like there is every week that we do this. So you go to shellypalmer.com/POAP. POAP is a proof of attendance protocol token. These are small, free of charge NFTs. There's no gas fees of any kind. And if you collect 5 of these, you get onto a list of the Shelly Palmer VIPs, where you'll be invited to salons at events like Mobile World Congress, CES, South by Southwest, some of the big trade shows. We also do salons on the East Coast and West Coast, and New York, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, mid-Chicago, mid-United States, major cities. And these salon dinners are interesting people where we continue the conversations we have all the time. Speaking of conversations, we're going to jump right into it today. Is it the crypto winter or something else? And that, oh man, that is a question and a half. Let's see, where is Bitcoin today? And where is, I never like to look at this. Oh yeah, Joe M. Immediately, yeah. So Joe M's got a question. I think that's, I don't know if that's a good question or a bad question. Let's see, is this a good question or a bad question? BTC is over 24,000. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I know that. I was just looking at it. It's, yeah, 24,000. $64.67, and ETH is at 1593.62. ETH is up 50% from a couple days ago, and Bitcoin is up about 20%. So Bitcoin's not recovering quite as quickly as ETH. And Matic is kind of back up, which is nice. It's good to see Matic, which is Polygon's currency, come back up. None of that matters. None of it matters. Crypto is going to go up. Crypto is going to go down. It is going to do what it's going to do. And as long as the speculators are in there, and as long as cryptocurrency is about speculation, I don't think we're going to see much. Last week, Jim Cramer said that crypto has no real value. Now, first of all, Jim Cramer's track record isn't exactly like the most stellar track record in the world. I don't know that that's anything more than pop culture advice. I mean, thank you, Jim Cramer. That's, pretty good entertainment, but I don't know if it's any real value. But what I do know is that yesterday or 2 days ago, what I do know is that Google announced that Google Wallet, a new wallet, is going to replace Google Pay on all Android devices. And that's coming up. You'll see that if you're an Android user over the next few days. By the way, are you an Android user? You can tell me in chat. Please, if you're here, chat is where it's at. Just let me know. I have my chat window open. I would love to hear your questions and comments. You can, of course, tell me who you are, where you are, what you do. We'd love to see the chat be a robust and exciting place like it normally is, actually. So So please, let's get the chat going, because I'm not seeing the chat love that we normally see. In fact, I'm not seeing any chat today. I wonder if that's a YouTube chat issue or if it's you guys. Type something, somebody, and let's see something. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, back to our story. So Google Wallet's going to replace Google Pay, and it's going to be a place for your digital representation. Oh, okay. Wow, did I just see everybody? Okay, thank you, YouTube. That was, yeah. Okay, so it went from Frank Quinn going meow for Meow Mix to like 100 of these things. Okay, fabulous. Apparently that was a little bit of a bandwidth issue. Hey, Frank. Hey, Stephen. Hey, David. Hey, welcome, Charlie from Detroit. William, Laura, Paul, Elaine. Wow. Okay, Steve Catola. Yes, thank you, everybody. Wow. Okay. Glad you're all here. Type. Thank you. Craziness. Thank you, YouTube Live. Anyway, Google Wallet's going to replace Google Pay, and what's going in there is what's going in there is your credit cards. It's going to be Apple Wallet, basically. They're building Apple Wallet. It's going to be called Google Wallet for Android people. You'll put your tickets in there. You'll put all the things you'd put in an iPhone Apple Wallet. You know what's not going in there? Crypto. Crypto is not happening. And it's not happening in Apple Pay either. So until we see cryptocurrencies and NFTs represented in Google Wallet, then now called Google Wallet, Apple Wallet, Samsung Pay, across the board, until that actually happens, crypto is going to be whatever crypto is going to be. And I don't think it has a whole lot to do with the world of DeFi or Web3 or Metaverse in its current state. I'm not going to tell you that it's unrelated. I'm going to tell you that NFTs are decoupled from the crypto marketplace pretty significantly at this point. And the cryptocurrency market itself is super volatile and hard to look at holistically, because the currencies themselves are so different and the foundational principles of each currency is different. What goes on at Bitcoin, the grandparent of them all, what goes on at Ethereum, which is just struggling to get the difficulty bomb going and the merge going and move from a proof of work blockchain to a proof of stake blockchain, which has just been a saga. Then you've got Polygon and their currency Matic, which what's going to happen when Ethereum gets their layer 2 solution going, which will be a direct competitor to Polygon. We don't know. You look at Solana. Solana is another blockchain. It is not Ethereum compatible or Polygon compatible. Separate chain, does its own thing. A lot of people writing smart contracts and NFTs there. Then there are some other blockchains that are popular and people are speculating that they're going to be awesome. Cardano is one of them. Polkadot is another one. There are some others. But once you get past the, I'm going to call it top 10, and you can name most of them right off the top of your head without working hard, in no particular order: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, Algorand, and I mean, you can go down the list. It's not hard to do. Each of these organizations is different. There are another, I don't know, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 blockchains out there. There's another 20,000 cryptocurrencies you've never heard of, and we are not going to hear of. We're going to hear the, I don't know, top 20, top 50. Do you care what's happening at Dogecoin? Where was Dogecoin just now? Where's Doge? I don't even know. Hold on. I'm just going to look, because why wouldn't I? Let's just look because we can. Doge. Dogecoin's at 7 cents. For anybody who is smart enough to, and people a year ago were talking about, will it go to $1? It's like, well, it's at 7 cents now. Algorand's at 37 cents. Band Protocol, it's at $1.59. Zcash at $65. It's down 54% from its high. Chainlink is really languishing. That's the utility token of one of the oracles. Oh, Chainlink is the Chainlink is an oracle. It's a way to move data around in a decentralized environment. Their currency is called Link. They're down to $7.29. Their high was around $35 a while back. It's really just unfortunate. That's just unfortunate. They're down 75, 76% off their high. Does it matter? I don't think so. I literally don't think it matters. And what does matter is what we're all going to do right now, Web 2, Web 3, and how we're going to get there. So that's really important. And I feel like if we don't pay solid attention to that, we're not paying attention in class. Let's see. Well, we do have a really interesting question here. Let's see if it fits on the screen. This will be interesting to see if I can get this on the screen for you guys. All right, I'm going to have to read this a little more closely. It says, and I quote, "Candidate for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada has advocated cryptocurrencies as an anti-inflationary hedge. Thoughts? I think that he hasn't the foggiest." All right. As you know, this show is not about financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial professional, and this is for your information and entertainment only. I'm going to tell you right now, you're right. That human being does not have a clue at all. And just go read about what inflationary and anti-inflationary hedge, what an anti-inflationary hedge looks like. It doesn't look like cryptocurrency, and all cryptocurrencies are not the same. Like what it's a terrible thing to say, but we have to be very careful here. Bitcoin, some people, whatever you name it, no one's spending Bitcoin in a store. I didn't really want to talk about this today. No one's spending Bitcoin in a store. This is, at the very best, a store of value cryptocurrency, and at the worst, it's something else. And it's not. No, it's not something that you can use to exchange value in the same way you would use a dollar bill in a grocery store. Ethereum seems to be the utility function of the NFT marketplace, but it's an expensive utility function. So Polygon has a better, cheaper way to service the NFT or the smart contract industry. Solana has a different way to service, and also relatively low-cost way to service the smart contract and NFT people. If you're building decentralized finance applications, there are specialized environments there were blockchains that are purpose-built to help you with your DeFi protocol dApps, your decentralized applications. So each of these currencies are different in their structure. There are privacy coins. There are stable coins, which are under question right now. Are they really stable? There are CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, which will be issued by governments. Then there's coins like the hypothetical, completely non-existent Shelly coin, which I could make today. You could make your coin today. Could you trade it? Yeah, you could trade it. I probably could to rile up enough people to think, oh, wow, Shelly Palmer made a coin. I should buy some. Yeah. What would you call that coin? Is that a meme coin? Is it a utility coin? Would it have some utility? I wouldn't put a coin out unless it had utility because I wouldn't want to risk my reputation on it. But to say cryptocurrency writ large is like saying South America without naming the separate countries and cultures, or Africa without naming the separate countries and cultures. It's a catch-all phrase, cryptocurrency. So when anyone gets up and says, well, cryptocurrency is blank, they're just spouting their ignorance. Which cryptocurrency and which type of coin is it? That must be said in the sentence where you make a blanket statement. If you want to say Matic is doomed because Ethereum's blockchain is going to transform from proof of work to proof of stake, and ETH, the utility coin of Ethereum, is going to be more valuable than Matic, the utility coin of the Polygon blockchain. Okay, I may disagree, I may agree, but at least you've set out the parameters. But if you say crypto is a hedge against inflation, without defining what you mean by crypto, no, that's just, these are nonsense terms. These are catch-all nonsense terms. I've come to use the word salad more than I used to, because that's really what that is. It's word salad. If you want to learn some of the word salad things, you can go to shellypalmer.com/blockchain. There you will find a resource page. You can learn about my book, which is free under certain circumstances on Amazon and $2.99 and others. And I think the paperback is like $7, $8, depending on how your Amazon Prime thing is set up, because it's on special all the time. We've set it up to be as cheap as possible there. But it's not just the book that's at shellypalmer.com/blockchain. There's our blockchain resource page, the glossaries, all of the kinds of things that we have a big database of organizations that we're watching very closely. So that's a good place to go learn about stuff. And I hope you'll do that. OpenSea has been in real trouble over the last couple of weeks. They laid off 20% of their staff. And their volume is down. That's pretty significantly down. Why is it down? It's down because people aren't getting rich quick right now in cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency was a lot about getting rich quick. There's another thing. I have an article, a little article at shellypalmer.com called eBay and OpenSea. It's from last week. You can easily find it at shellypalmer.com. And this article itself, this is about the idea that when eBay started, it was an auction site. And you go, it was like a garage sale, right? You go find the stuff you had laying around the house, or stuff that you thought might have value to others but didn't have value to you, or you were just trying to make a little cash off the things you'd accumulated over your life. And so you'd go on eBay and it would be an auction. And they did this Vickery auction, which was really cool. You could bid the highest amount you wanted to bid, like the most you were willing to pay, and you would not pay, no matter what happened, you would only pay just above the price of the next highest bidder, so that you put in the maximum value you'd be willing to pay. You could end up paying the maximum value, but you always made sense to put in the maximum value. The way that the auction was laid out, you can read about second price auctions and Vickery auctions. It's a good tool. Google Marketplace used to work that way for advertising. At the end of the day, eBay had to switch its model. They had no choice. Why? Well, there's a lot of speculation as to whether they were right or wrong. Amazon Marketplace got in their face really hard. The world of e-commerce showed up. Shopify sites showed up everywhere. And eBay, first they added the buy it now button, and then all of a sudden the professional sellers showed up. And now people who have Amazon Marketplace stores very often have eBay stores as well. So is eBay still an auction site? You'd be hard pressed to find a good old fashioned auction from a normal person on eBay. What you're likely to find is a business who has automated their business, has automated their eBay auction listings. They've automated their pricing. They go in there and scrape the whole internet all the time to make sure that their prices are reasonable. And they compete with one another as well as compete with other sites, things on Amazon. So yeah, it's like eBay evolved, for better or for worse. It's not what it was. OpenSea started as a site where you and I can go and mint an NFT for free and then go sell it. And there was a robust secondary marketplace. But because it was theoretically decentralized, OpenSea is kind of a hot mess. A lot of fake stuff there, and they can't really take it down because otherwise, then they're the central authority, which they don't want to be. And so they're going to have to pivot. So OpenSea's troubles are partially because the crypto market's gotten a little bit messed up. Partially. And partially because it's natural. It's truly natural for a startup to pivot and to try and adapt to the marketplace. So I wouldn't read too much into them laying off their staff. My buddy Nate Chastain got, I think, indicted or arrested a couple of weeks ago for doing some really bad stuff. They've had their, and I like Nate. I'm sorry that he's a criminal, apparently alleged criminal. I shouldn't say criminal. He's innocent until proven guilty. But at a certain point, I mean, it was kind of terrible. It's very rare you see an executive get hauled off to in handcuffs. So I feel bad about that. But they've got their set of problems. They're the largest NFT marketplace. Coinbase is trying. Binance is trying. Is there an open marketplace? Is there an unprotected marketplace, a decentralized marketplace where mainstream world can go and feel safe about buying and selling and exchanging NFTs? Seems to me like Dapper Labs has it right with Top Shot. Seems to me that there are a couple of different approaches to having a central authority like the NFL be the central authority. And in that case, they've done a really good job of telling you if you stay inside this ecosystem, you're going to be safe. Sounds right to me. Do I want to be decentralized? Maybe. Maybe I want to be decentralized. It's hard to know. One of the other semi-centralized apps I think is pretty fascinating is coming up from the NFL and Ticketmaster. And maybe ticketing is the killer app for NFTs. They're going to next season, each Ticketmaster purchase will not just per account, but per ticket for about 100 games. They're going to issue an NFT for each ticket as opposed to each account at Ticketmaster. And then there's going to be a Ticketmaster marketplace, which will be, without question, centralized. Definitely centralized. So what does that mean? Well, if they're centralized, it's going to be relatively safe. Could you pull those NFTs off and sell them on OpenSea? Would you? Should you? Could you? Could someone right-click and copy this NFT and do? All of these things, all of the crazy, are going to be explored over the next season. I think ticketing is the killer app. I'm pretty sure of it. And for sports, working out what kind of third-party marketplaces, open marketplaces, and maybe OpenSea is going to be a place for that, are set up to actually buy and sell tickets. I think that's going to be fascinating. And I think because you can write a smart contract as the ticket, and there's some remuneration to the original creators of the event in a secondary market, like there's money to be made across the board, either from the broker's perspective or the original creator's perspective or the rights holder's perspective. We'll see how these contracts ultimately get written and what becomes standardized and what stays variable and what consumers need to know. Are we going to see, you have nutrition information on a package of whatever you buy in a supermarket. Are we going to have some mandated information in KYC exchanges that tells you the original creator's getting X, the broker's getting Y, the seller's getting Z? Like, are we going to see any? I don't know. But this is all going to, it's all going to work itself out over time. And we're going to learn a lot about it. We just are. You can learn an awful lot about how all this works at metacademy.com. Now, for those of you who are here, most of you know about metacademy.com, but you need to go through it. It's free. It's free of charge. It's risk-free. Why is it risk-free? We use test currency. You'll learn to create a MetaMask wallet. You will fill it with test ETH from the Rinkeby network. Then you're going to learn all about cryptocurrencies, all the kinds of cryptos we talked about today, stable coins, CBDCs, meme coins, store of value coins, utility coins, and learn all about what they are and their tokenomics. Then you're going to mint an NFT. Once you mint your first NFT, we're going to deconstruct it. We're going to look at all the metadata. You're going to be able to go open contracts on a blockchain explorer, and you're going to be able to go look at every single aspect of the metadata to determine its rarity and what it is. And then you will mint a generate NFT, like a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, so that you understand what generative NFTs are. You'll learn about that metadata. All along, you'll be earning badges in each section. There are 14 sections right now at MetaCademy, and each one has a badge. You'll earn those badges, and at the end, you will be able to go and mint a non-test NFT where you will get a completion certificate. So this is a pretty decent journey from what is cryptocurrency, what are NFTs, what are smart contracts, what is the blockchain, what is it really good for, all the way through the practical, tactical way you would engage to earn, create an engage to earn environment, learn to do all the things you need to learn. And I think that will be helpful when we start talking about things like what will the future of OpenSea look like? What is ticketing the killer app? Like those things, it would be good for you to have a solid, hands-on tactical education, tactical and practical. And that's why we built Met Academy. Originally I wrote this book, as I told you. In the book, the problem is I can keep the ebook updated, but keeping the print book updated is like a giant pain in the butt. Plus, the business changes every day. So it is much, 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 much easier to put everything in Met Academy. We keep that completely up to date every day. We're adding modules every day. We're adding the Metaverse modules in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to go deep into all, like what we call the standard model of the Metaverse, which is going to be super fun. So yeah, I hope you'll go over to Met Academy and check that out. Now, speaking of Bored Apes, they kind of opened up Otherside, their Metaverse, to about 4,300 people who had bought into the concept. And what I really like about Bored Ape Yacht Club has almost nothing to do with their NFTs. Almost nothing. Because at the end of the day, these guys are storytellers, and they're telling amazing stories. They could be telling it on television or radio or in a book or in a movie, but they decided they were going to tell it this other way. They created these 10,000 NFTs. They put a price on them. They got some stars to dig in. There's a story around it. There's a journey. It's a storytelling tool set. And Otherside, which is their Metaverse, is just opening up, and they're doing the best they can to tell that story. I am really excited about it. Not because I'm a big Bored Ape fan. I'm just a fan of the way they're handling it. And to that end, something fascinating, I mean really, really fascinating, happened last week or the week before, and I wanted to spend some time talking about it. And then I couldn't do last week because of the, thank you, Charter Spectrum, the bandwidth problem. But let's get into this for a second. See these two Bored Apes? This is interesting. This is Bored Ape number 6578 with the earring, and Bored Ape 7065 without the earring. Other than that, these are identical. So one of the things that is fascinating about Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs is that when you buy them, rights actually transfer to you. Copyright privileges transfer to you in that you're able to use the intellectual property to tell your own stories. This isn't true most of the time. Like if you buy an NFT of a piece of artwork, you own it in a fair use way. You own it, just you can sell it. What you can't do, if you buy something that has a copyright on it, you can't replicate it or duplicate it and sell copies of it and commercialize it, because that's not what you bought. What you bought was the right to enjoy it and go ahead and sell it to somebody if it's a physical piece. So this fascinated me because a lawsuit showed up, and Bored Ape Yacht Club needed to sue. And the target of their lawsuit was copying Bored Apes. We'll leave it at that. You can go read about the lawsuit. They didn't sue on the copyright. They sued on the trademark. Tortious interference of their business for brand confusion. They did not sue on the copyright. And here's why. Look at these two Bored Apes. Let's say instead of Bored Apes, you were looking at Mickey Mouse. And on one side you had Mickey Mouse, and on the other side you had the same exact picture of Mickey Mouse, but with an earring. They're both Mickey Mouse. Well, this is a generative NFT set. Mostly, I don't know, maybe there's a dozen separate Bored Apes, with some that have different color skin, some that have attributes that are different from a facial shape. So I think there are maybe 12 out of the 10,000. There's maybe 12 unique Bored Ape NFTs, and everything after that is a derivative work because it's based on the previous work. The one with the earring is based on the one without the earring. Clearly. This is a crazy question, did the Bored Ape Yacht Club creators have the right to sell the copyright of the Bored Ape with the earring without the permission of the owner of the Bored Ape without the earring. Now, in this case, the Bored Ape with the earring came first because it's the one on the left with the lower number. So really, it starts with a Bored Ape with an earring, and then you take the earring away, and now it's supposed to be a separate work that is entitled to its own copyright. It's not. So they can't sue on copyright because they never had the right to sell the copyright to the Bored Ape without the earring. Subtle. Read up on your PTO law, patent trademark office law, read up on your copyright law. This is a fascinating reality of derivative works, and it probably has ramifications in mashups in music. I think it has a lot of ramifications in AI generated music, in music that is derivative. This one just caught me off guard because generative NFTs, by their very nature, take a small subset of primitive elements and then mash them up. Did they have the right to sell the copyright to the second copyright holder or second buyer? They don't think they did. And so they're not suing on copyright law. They're suing on patent trademark law. They're saying that you violated the Bored Ape Yacht Club trademark, person who I'm suing. I don't want to get into the details of the lawsuit. It's the way that the lawsuit is being brought that got my undivided attention. I was completely fascinated by it. This went extinct. This sound, you know the sound that a SLR, single lens reflex camera, makes when the mirror flips up, and especially when the motor drive is happening? Nikon has end-of-lifed its production of single lens reflex cameras. They're going all in the mirrorless business, and mirrorless cameras don't make any noise when they shoot. They're great for video. Someone asked if my audio, my camera, and my lighting look great. Can you publish? Where is this? Oh, here. I can put this up on the screen. Thank you for this. Your audio, what does it say? Your audio, your video, blah, blah, blah. Camera, lighting, yeah. You can go... let me put this, I'm going to type for a second. I think it's kit.co/ that's where I see if you guys can see that in chat. If you can, somebody just tell me you can see that in chat. Yeah, I'm on a Sony mirrorless camera here. It's an A6600. There's a fairly tight lens because I'm in my house in Connecticut. So I have a fairly tight lens on this. It's a 35 millimeter f1.8 lens. And what that's doing for you right now is it's blurring out the background, bokeh effect, right? But that's in the lens. That's not a blurred background like on whatever. And the you can kind of see the lighting is good. But if I look up, there's a big grid of light right through my eyes. But I have to do this in order to get it. And when I look normally, it's so the light's coming right at me, and that's flat. So I've got some lights on the left and the right that are lighting up the back, and also a light that's hitting me here, as you can tell from the back. So a little bit of lighting, a little bit of cameras, a little bit of action. Thanks for noticing. Do the best I can. And actually, this is not as good as it could be. What you're seeing right now is the best I can do based on the computer I have here, which is an i7 with a 2080 Ti card in it. No, a 3080 Ti card, sorry. No, a 2080 Ti card on this. It's an i7 with 64 gigabytes of RAM, and it's just not enough horsepower to do what I want to do, which would be to put this out at a higher resolution so you guys could see like. But then again, I'm really not that attractive, so I don't think you need to see the pores of my skin on this one. Just don't. Oh, John S., you're asking the question. Yeah, we have some time. Let's do it. John S. asks, Shelly, are you going to add any thoughts to this morning's email comments about the death of linear TV? We could switch gears for a second. Most of you know that I came out of the TV business, and it is it's my passion. It's what I went to school for. I grew up in the TV business. I worked in the TV business forever. I am on TV Tuesday mornings, Fox 5 New York. I'm their on-air tech guy. I've been doing that for 14 years, every Tuesday morning, and a couple 10 o'clock newses every weeknights for 10 o'clock on the 10 o'clock news. So, by the way, thank you for making this chat so robust today. There's so many questions. I'm not sure we're going to get to them all today. But remember, you can talk to each other and talk amongst yourselves and tell everybody where you are. And you, of course, can always email me if you want to talk to me at all. You can just Shelly at shellypalmer.com. I'm happy to take your questions and answer them at any time. It's my personal pleasure to do that. All right, so let's talk for 1 second. Just 1 second about my friend Reed Hastings, who is a very, very smart guy. And in their earnings call, their investor call yesterday, Reed said that TV will die in 5. Netflix is perfectly positioned because TV is going to die in 5 to 10 years. May I say that the death of television has been greatly exaggerated. For the next few minutes, I will tell you just the story. Local television, which is free over-the-air TV, they get their spectrum from the federal government free of charge. They do have a license they have to put out, but they have to apply for. Once they get their license, they get to do whatever they want to do. There are some FCC guidelines, Federal Communications Guidelines, but you are NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox or CW affiliated, or you're independent. There are some other small little networks that are unwired or that are just regional. But at the end of the day, free over-the-air television is free over-the-air television. It's just what it is. And so everyone thinks that because the ratings are falling precipitously and have been doing so for more than a decade, and because streaming is all the rage right now, that local TV and linear TV is going to die very soon. I call your attention to the radio business. Radio stations also get their airwaves for free from the federal government. The FCC, same quasi-government organization, issues licenses to radio stations. What has the radio business devolved into? It's very simple. There's an office that may or may not have people in it where the transmitter is, and an antenna on a hill, and a broadcast area, granted, based on the wattage of the radio station. And what most, by far, the vast majority of radio stations do is they broadcast completely syndicated content that someone else makes, and they pull in news from a news aggregator. It may or may not include valid local weather. It may be regional weather. It depends how much money they want to spend. And then they load up something like 20 to 25 minutes of commercials inside of every hour. This business is so profitable. Why? The airwaves are relatively free. The transmitter, the antenna costs, the mortgage on that clicked out years ago. They have no leverage whatsoever. They are not levered up in any way. The amount of money that falls to the bottom line because they have no personnel and they have no expenses is insane. You can easily run a television business exactly the same way. You got a free over-the-air spectrum that is granted to you by the FCC. You are going to pull all of your content in from libraries and syndication. You're going to have people bulk up and aggregate to the maximum level the amount of TV stations they're allowed to own. So they will all own the maximum number of TV stations by law. That has to do with the amount of the country that these signals cover. They will cut the prices of everything, or the expense of everything by just, you'll see 1 million reruns. You'll see a giant commercial load. You will see no personnel, no staff. You will see aggregated sales organizations. It's pointing there now. Most stations do that now. They will do more of it. There will not be any poor TV station owners. TV stations are going to do fine. What defines the future of television has nothing to do with anything we just described. It's the NFL contract in 2031. That's the beginning and ending of this. If the NFL decides that Netflix, or if Netflix was telling us that they're going to buy the contract for the NFL or try to buy the rights to football in 2031 when the current broadcast contract is up with Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football, and see, like, when all that's done, which plays the ESPN stuff, Monday Night Football plays on ESPN, that's cable. Sunday Night Football is NBC affiliates, the NBC television network, all the affiliated stations of NBC. And then the afternoon games are either Fox or CBS. And so everybody's got a little football. Amazon picked up, I think Thursday night's coming up. And the question is, will streaming services be able to pick up the slack? Can they drop the multi-billion-dollar check the NFL is going to want? And also, will they have a big enough audience? Because network effect, meaning people talking about it, just viral things happening, that has a big impact on everything. So for commercial television, what are people willing to pay? There's a lot. David Charmants is asking, what about cable channels, ad-supported subscription? Do they go to streaming? Streaming is super inconvenient at the moment. People seem to be okay with that. If you're young enough, you're looking for dedicated streams. If you're older and you're looking for some companionship and just turning on the linear television and have it as background noise and filler, there are different use cases for TV. And streaming fills a need. It definitely does. And certainly it's the most premium of all of the ways you do something, right? If you want to have the best possible experience, it's going to be 4K over the public, over the top on the public internet. You're not going to get that in your cable system. You're not going to get the best of the best programming at the highest resolution. Most cable systems have very few, if any, 4K offerings, and most of all of that happens. The high resolution audio, the high resolution video, all tends to happen from streaming services. So, yeah, that's the TV story. I think its death has been overstated for so many years. They just charge more for less. They just charge more for less. Smaller audience, but we're still the biggest game in town. I think Grey's Anatomy at its height was in the 20 million viewer range. It's at 4 million viewers-ish any given Thursday night now. It's still one of the most watched shows on TV, and believe me, they get the same or more money for those 4 million people than they got for the 20 million people. It's just the way it works. Because Friday, people go to the supermarket. Friday's payday. The last time I get to talk to you before payday, if you're watching free over-the-air television and you're an average American, is Thursday night when Grey's Anatomy is on. So any commercial I put there, if I need recency and availability, the two psychological, thank you, Danny Kahneman and Amos Tversky, the economists, if I need to go to the supermarket and have the recency and availability of the two things about your brand. If I need Bounty as the quicker picker-upper in my head, or whatever it is I need when I'm walking the supermarket aisles, the last possible time I can get you, when you're leaning back and just ready to absorb, before your payday and before you hit your supermarket on the way home Friday, is Thursday night. Which is why the best shows are on Thursday night, because most people get paid on Friday. Not everybody, most. And if they don't anymore, and many people will argue they don't anymore, the artifact is still in place, and the media business hasn't caught up with reality. But the reason Thursday night was must-see TV and is simply the payday is Friday, and Friday afternoon or Friday evening is supermarket day, where it was the last time you were likely to see someone before they got paid. It's kind of an important thing about free over-the-air television. So, yeah. Lastly, I am a boomer, and I grew up in the technology of my day was television. When my group is gone, TV will not look like it looks today, because we are the last of the TV babies. And we got a few years left on us, so don't count us out. And we're the second largest generation after the millennials, so it's a bunch of people watching TV. Anyway, it's the witching hour. I didn't get to cover all the things I wanted to cover. Please, please, please remember that you can grab your POAP at shellypalmer.com/POAP. This is your proof of attendance protocol token. It's free of charge. You go there, but just sign up and put an email in there. I'm so happy this thing worked all day today. I'm very excited that we had enough bandwidth here. Thank you, Charter Spectrum, for giving us this much extra bandwidth today. So don't forget your POAP. And lastly, please, 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 Ukraine is still a thing, and it's horrifying. And this shellypalmer.com/Ukraine is going to take you to an NBC social responsibility website, a Today Show site, where they've got vetted charities. If you can find it in your heart, please, please, please see if you can help these people out. It's horrifying. With that, I will say to you, thank you. I really, truly appreciate the time you spend with me on Wednesdays at Web3 Wednesday. If you have any questions at all, you know where to find me. It's all at Shelly Palmer. It's all at shellypalmer.com. And with that, I will thank you again, and we will see you next time. Take care.